right. What is up, fantasy fans? As always, I'm Shay from the channel Zachary Shay, and I've noticed that I haven't always been good about reviewing books as they're coming out, being part of that discussion, hitting the ground floor, and I really want to make an effort in being somebody that covers books as they're coming out so I can start that discussion and I can engage with the community. So, with the recent release of Shadows Upon Time, I decided to review The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I'm pretty late to this one. I know everyone got their review out several months ago on what they thought about it. I know most of BookTube was not too hot on it. I am not the biggest Joe Abercrombie fan, though I've read all of his First Law books. I've read his Shattered Sea trilogy, his Sharp End short story collection, which I wasn't too big a fan of. And while Age of Madness is still my favorite thing that he's ever written, this is one of my favorite Abercrombie books. I absolutely adore this book. In terms of just a single book, this is easily in his top 5, probably his top 3 for me. And definitely my favorite book 1 in any series he's ever written, which I've heard that he plans to do a second and a third. And, what people say about this, though, is true. It does feel like the Suicide Squad. It does feel like it's playing a little bit safer than the First Law, but for me, I'm not the biggest grimdark reader. I love dark and dastardly worlds, but I need a heroic character to root for. And while I think a lot of his characters in the First Law, like the Dog Man, are more heroic than people give him credit for the most part, his characters can be on the dastardly side. And in the Devils, yes, you have a magical disappearing elf. You have the third greatest necromancer in Europe. You have Viga the Wolf. You have Sir Jacob, the immortal knight. And you have Baptiste, the jack of all trades, as they try to get Empress Alexia and Brother Diaz to the throne of Troy. But all these characters, while they look like monsters and devils on the outside, what you find out throughout the book is that there's a lot more to them than meets the eye, and a lot of them are a lot more heroic than you might at first assume. It reminded me a lot of this story as a whole, like the vibe, everything reminded me a lot of Once Was Willem. I do think Once Was Willem is a slightly better book, but in terms of a European medieval fantasy with, a mismatch of 7 dastardly type characters as they come together to do some good, it follows a lot of the same themes, and I thought both were exemplary. I think it's just an amazing achievement in fantasy, and I know most probably won't agree with me. I give this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to read his next one. Thanks, guys. Peace.